Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video on the channel. I'm going to be responding to some of the comments that people have been leaving under the video, and basically just sort of going over some of the arguments that people are coming up with, actually justifying why Germans have been banned, or say certain impressions have been banned from the Severn Valley Railway 1940s weekend. This video isn't about attacking people personally, but it says so where it will be, well, I'll be putting up messages about what people have said. I will be blowing out people's faces and also their names. At the end of the day, I'm going to say again and reiterate what I've said in the previous videos. If you do, say, make any engagement with the railway or any of these individuals, just be respectful. I know it can be frustrating when people are doing this to your impression and stuff, and say not really honouring like sort of the hard work and effort that goes into your impression. But just be a little bit more, let's say, be a little bit respectful. And that's where I'm going to say likewise to the people that work at the railway station. The people that you've may have not seen commenting underneath these videos, many of these people work for the railway stations, and their opinions that they put out and the things that they say, which borderline, say, going to threatening people and stuff like that, which those comments have been removed anyway. I just have to say to the railway stations and also to the reenactors as well, if these are the people that actually work at your stations, I'm sorry, but I didn't realise how toxic it was. Like it is ridiculous. Say that the level of mental gymnastics that people are willing to go to justify bad actions. Really, I do want to say thank you. So if you watched the previous video, and say thank you for clicking on this video. We'll get that little bit out of the way what we just said, but basically, I want to say a massive thank you to Miss.44 and HK Sniper for covering my videos and actually, say, putting the message out there. I do appreciate, say, the coverage that you guys have done, say, about this topic, so thank you so much. Say, for people that, say, may not know, go and see HK Sniper's video. I'll be leaving the link in the description below, and you know what? I might just scooch over here for a second. I will put his YouTube channel there and everything. Go and actually have a look at his channel. It's really good. And also as well, go and check out Miss.44's channel. He's very close to 1,000 subscribers. So if we can get him over to 1,000 subscribers, that'd be much appreciated. Thank you so much. And whilst I've got you here as well, if you could leave a like and subscribe or follow me on Facebook, because these videos will be going back on live on both. It'd be much appreciated. And saying if you've got any, say, whether you do agree or disagree, leave a comment down below. But please be respectful to each other and to myself. At the end of the day, these are just opinions at the end of the day. I don't think, say, we need to be getting to the borderlines of actually using threatening comments and stuff like that. But anyway, I digress. We'll get into the rebutting some of the ideas, some of the comments that people have put out on the internet about this. So, one thing I'm seeing a lot from the railway staff that are commenting on the, or say not just the railway staff, but the volunteers for the railways as well, is one of the they keep coming up with the same comments, and these are the comments I'm going to be rebutting in this video. First one is actually impressions, and they keep saying, why do people only do British, German, or American? So okay, so someone out of the hobby that may not know, and I think most reenactors will probably sit there and like nod, and might have even more of reasons why people don't do it. And the reason why people do what they do is for three reasons I can think of. The first reason is actually entertainment. So entertainment in like, say, video games, movies and stuff like that. People don't, even though there are some movies about, like, say, the French or the Italians and stuff like that, they're very small. And the overwhelming majority of the big movies are either, say, British orientated, especially American orientated, and German orientated. Yes, you do get some, say, like the ones that come to my mind is like the Pacific. But if you look at the Pacific compared to Band of Brothers, that's basically what I'm saying. It's not as popular as these other topics. So, and you can go even to the extent of like in video games and stuff like that as well. As like for games that I play personally, like Battlefield 5 and stuff like that, which is a World War II game for people who don't know. They don't even like have the Russians in the actual game at all. So no reference to Russians or anything. So I believe that that's the first thing of why that the first reason why people like don't do that is because it's sort of what people see and people go, oh, I'm interested in that. That looks quite interesting. I might want to go and do that as well. Second one is most people when they do reenactment. When I first did reenactment, I didn't even realize reenactment was a thing. It was just I just stumbled a group of lads in a field and thought that looks kind of interesting. Let's go and do it. So you have to fit in with the group that you're joining and for what their impression is. So, for example, for like our group, it's like say it's a Leicestershire regiment because that's where we're from. So that's what we portray. And likewise, if you join like say Miss Drop's like group, you'll be doing a certain impression, which will be American, and a certain regiment. Sorry, Miss Drop, I can't remember what it is. 101st. I'm gonna put a thing on. But anyway, for me, it's just sort of like that's what people portray. And then the third thing is like for people that may not actually be a part of the like say the World War II living history circuit is it's also equipment as well and expense as well. I'll get into that. That's 2 in 1 actually. I've just thought of that one. So the first one is equipment. If you go and have a look at like Epic or Soldier of Fortune and stuff like that, realistically there's only British, German, and American kit being sold. Don't know why. That's just what it is. So when you want to get into the hobby, there's 2 things you've got to do. You either got to buy a preset kit, which I think the majority of the reenactors have done, or you've got to go in and find the kit yourself or make it. I know a lot of like say the Civil War redcoat reenactors have to make all their kit, or you go to some guy or girl in a shed and they can make it for you. So they're the 3 reasons why people particularly do that, and you don't see like say out of that sort of circuit like people doing like Italian or say you do see some Russians, but Russians are very scaled down, or French. And yet again, you only see like 2 or 3 people. You don't see a group of like 30 lads doing one thing. The next thing as well is people are saying or trying to make the claim that it's a home front event. So there's no like sort of like thing here. You're wrong. You're completely wrong. It clearly is advertised online and in the brochures and everything that it is a World War II. It is a 1940s overseas and home front. Overseas and home front. I wonder what they mean by overseas. I don't know. I'm completely oblivious to it, to be completely honest. So the people coming out with these comments saying that it's a home front event and there's nothing. You know, you're wrong. You're completely wrong. So either the railway is either falsely advertising to the public, which if I was someone from the public, I'd be then wanting my money back, or you're being massively disingenuous to try and prove your point of view and come up with a reason why you have justified in your mind that say certain impressions aren't accepted because you're just making up a bullshit excuse, and that's really all it is at the end of the day. So for anybody online saying, "Oh, it's a home front event and it's not 9 foot," they're completely wrong and either don't know what they're talking about or just massively disingenuous in actually what the actual show's trying to put on. And yet again, I'll come back to my previous statement at the beginning of the video. If these are the opinions of what these railway stations and their staff and their volunteers think of you, just remember at the end of the day, they want you to go to their show to make them money. Think twice before you go, ladies and gentlemen, at these events. If these are the people you're going to be running into, I'd rather go to a field on my own and just do something else at another show. Thank you for destroying your own show. The next thing as well, and this is just the most ridiculous claim I've seen, it is not educational. Reenactment and living history is not educational. So you as a reenactor that has spent all this money and all this time and effort and getting every button and thread all done, completely irrelevant. It's not educational at all, apparently to some people. So member of the public, kids, adults, parents, veterans, etc., going to these events and seeing your kit, and seeing the equipment and seeing you dressed up and seeing the vehicles is supposedly not even educational. Is that the same opinion about a museum? Yet again, you're coming up with a bullshit argument to justify your bullshit reasons to ban certain groups because you just don't agree with them. And that's okay. If you don't agree with them, there's 52 weeks in a year. You're losing out on 2 weeks at your precious stations. And I think personally, this is a bit off the cuff now. I think with these railway stations, they really want you to turn up so they can make money off your hard work and all the impressions that you're trying to put off, whilst actively then trying to alienate everybody and then send their staff over to basically harass and just basically say, what you're doing is irrelevant. We're the main show here. As far as I'm concerned at this moment in time, if that's their opinion, if you don't want to share your railway station and your railway track, that's fine. You keep it. We'll go elsewhere. So, but previously, I won't talk about boycotting. I'm sorry, but if this is the level of abuse that they're going to give us, is your journey actually really that worth going? Plenty of other events that will cater to you just happily, without trying to say dumb down what you're trying to put on. But anyway, so the educational value. One comment, and I've seen a few comments prepared to buy these things, is going like, most reenactors go, oh, here, kid, here's heavy gun, right? Yes, heavy gun, heavy. Let's go from the educational point of view. Most British soldiers were about 5'7" 5'8" tall, and they're around about 65 kilogram, like 65 kg in weight. So Americans, I ain't gonna work that out in my head now. So when you give people like a brain gun, so these lads are like, say, around 60, 65 kg, and you're giving them a unloaded brain gun at 10 kg. You start to get an impression without any of the other kit that you give them of just the extent of, like, say, strength that these guys would have had back in the day. I'm saying carrying like 1/6 your body weight on just one weapon. That's not even including your uniform, your boots, your helmet, your your small pack, the ammunition as well. It's yet again, I think it's a very good example, and it's something that you just can't get from a museum, of just the extent of just this, like, say, the stress to the bodies and the endurance they would have had to go to field and fight through. And HK Sniper come up with an amazing point in his video, and this is why we need the Germans, so because they've got points of views that just we won't see or think of. And that was just generally, it's amazing to see that the level of, like, say, quality and sort of killing power that, say, that the German kit has, especially like the machine guns and stuff like that. And just knowing that, say, 80 years ago, that these young men, average age, let's say, 23, with all their kit, was marching towards all their kit and slugging themselves into the meat grinder, and just fighting through it. So I do sit there and go, actually, to the people that come up with these comments, I think that they're trying to come up with, say, some bullshit reasons to try and justify why they don't want to see Germans at their shows, which, yet again, I'll reinstate what I said. You're losing out on 2 weekends. Go take up another hobby. Go take up knitting for a weekend. Go to the cinema. If you don't want to see this stuff, you're more than welcome to not turn up. But why does your opinion of not wanting to see this trump everybody else's opinion also not to see it? I just think it's very egotistical, and it's just very, just like, say, selfish, really, that you could just sit there and go, I don't want to see this. It upsets me. It's history. If it upsets you, it's doing its job, unfortunately, because it is upsetting to people. Not that we're going out our way to upset people, But if you could go away at the weekend knowing that, say, the horrors actually did take place, then you would get a broader and a better understanding of why these events should never happen again. But anyway, everyone, I don't want to drag the video for too long. I know everybody's busy. I've got a show to pack for. So thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe on the video. It'd be much appreciated. Go check out Miss Drop 44 and go and check out HK Sniper. Both did some amazing videos. Go check out their videos. Thank you for everybody for watching this long. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.